So, sir, it's 3, 2, 1. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to Live Pharma Coalition, the world's #1 online pharma discussion platform. Sometimes it is said that opportunities are like lemons. When life throws us lemons, it depends on us whether we make a lemonade out of it and enjoy the drink, or we spray it into our eyes and start crying. So opportunities give us a chance to prove ourselves. Sometimes we become winners, sometimes we become losers. So that is why take the best or make the best of every opportunity that life throws at you, because you never know that this might be the window of success that you are looking for. Today is the first Sunday of August, which is celebrated as Friendship Day. So thank you so much, our dear friends on LPC, who have given us a chance to prove ourselves and become the world's #1 online pharma discussion platform. Indeed, our journey wouldn't have been possible without your love, support, cooperation, and of course, your knowledge sharing. So keep the trust, keep the faith on LPC, and we will continue sharing knowledge from some of the best leaders in the pharma industry. Well, India ranks 3rd worldwide for pharmaceutical production by volume and 14th by value. In the coming years, we are very sure that the India pharma industry is definitely going to touch newer heights as far as the global ranking is concerned. Now, to accomplish this colossal feat, are we making our employees ready for the next level? Barring the top 50 companies, there is a dearth of capability building among the employees due to the absence of a training department as well as a L&D curriculum. Friends, we at LPC have always tried to enrich the pharmaceutical industry through our constant knowledge sharing every Sunday. We also have initiated the Mentor Master program for our LPC registered members so that they can learn from the industry leaders personally through proper guidance and coaching about the different facets of the pharma industry, and also get useful tips from the industry leaders to propel their career to the next level. So to get all the benefits of the world's largest pharma online discussion platform, please register now on LPC. And for any queries, you can reach out to me, Raman sir, Yashwant sir, or ICS sir. So let's awaken a new dawn in training and development, and LPC is a beginning of that dawn. So now I will share with you the journey of LPC so far. So once again, welcome to the world's largest online pharma discussion platform, which is Live Pharma Coalition. In fact, this has become the world's largest discussion platform because of more than 45 plus pharma companies and institutions with more than 125 plus speakers who have graced this wonderful platform, and over 20,000 reach both on Facebook as well as YouTube. And this wouldn't have been possible without the support of our strong executive member team of 28 strong members who are spread across the length and breadth of the globe, and who give us a lot of knowledge sharing support so that we can continue our endeavor week after week. Now, this was the event we had all been a witness, that is LPC 100 Conclave, which was at Mumbai in the month of March. And thank you so much for your overwhelming support for LPC 100 Conclave. For any type of association that you would like to establish with Live Pharma Coalition, please don't hesitate to get in touch with Mr. Raman, Mr. Yashwant, Mr. ICS, or me at these numbers. Now, these were the leaders who had been a part of LPC 100 Conclave, where they shared their knowledge and experience to each and everyone who was present there. And this photograph is reminiscent of the wonderful time we spent at LPC 100 Conclave at Mumbai. And it wouldn't have been possible without the support of the pharma industry leaders who were always with us as a constant source of inspiration. Now, the next news is that we are going to host LPC 125 Conclave, which is one of the biggest events as far as learning and sharing is concerned. And it's going to be at Ahmedabad on 11th of September, which is a Sunday, between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the venue is Courtyard by Marriott. And to speak about the leaders, we will be having Dr. Ganesh Naik of Zydus, who is the executive director, Mr. Venugopal Vijendran, Mr. Gagan Atreja, Mr. Ashok Bhatia, Mr. P.K. Rajput, and many more. Well, we had an early bird registration of 2,000 rupees, which was till 5th of August. But because of your overwhelming response, we have decided to extend it till our Independence Day. That's 15th of August. So don't stay back. Hurry up and get yourself registered. The early bird is open till 15th of August. And for any type of assistance that you would like to have, we are there, Mr. Yashwant, Mr. Raman, ICS, and me. And this is the strong executive team of LPC who are always happy to help you for any type of queries that you might be having. Now, this all wouldn't have been possible without the support of Imagica Health. In fact, Imagica Health, in a nutshell, explores the intersection between design, digital health technology, and content marketing for the leading brands. They have an ex-marketeer-led team of medical writers, graphic designers, teamers, coders who serve the pharmaceutical for bettering customer engagement, bringing patient centricity, improving control on the sales team, and increasing the return on investment for various marketing campaigns. Thank you so much, Imagica Health, and we can be very sure of your support in the days to come. Now coming to LPC 120, let me have the privilege of introducing who are going to be a part, and today isn't going to be an exception as far as a top leader of the pharma industry is concerned. And he is none other than Mr. Dharampi Gupta, who is the BU head, MSN Laboratories Limited. And today he is going to throw light on the topic that is leadership challenges in changing dynamic across the pharma industry. And along with me, I have the privilege of having Mr. ICS Verma, who is a co-founder of Rexon Healthcare, and he is the director of New Direction Consultancy. So thank you so much, friends, for your participation last week, which was LPC 119 on academic leadership. So, and you had a very good reach on Facebook and YouTube. So please keep inspiring. Please be there, the wind behind our wings, so that we can continue our learning endeavor week after week. So now it's time I hand over the next part of the session to Mr. ICS Verma so that he can introduce Mr. Dharampi Gupta. So over to you, ICS, sir.
Thank you, Arpan. Once again, welcome to all the LPC lovers to LPC 120, the leadership session. So today it's a great honor to me to welcome one of my gurus. I could still remember when I was a territory manager in Guntur, he was a HO manager who was handling and who has launched many divisions. So it's welcome DP sir to Live Pharma Coalition. So DP Gupta sir is a pharma graduate and a PGDM from XLRI Jamshedpur. And he has an experience of more than 26 years in pharma. He joined in Cipla as a medical representative and grown to the level of a BU head. And from there, he has had experience in Alembic, and currently he is the part of MSN as a BU head and one of the steering marketing gurus in MSN. So I have a privilege to meet him personally also in Hyderabad. He had launched many divisions in Cipla. I think most of you might know the division called Nurture, which is a pediatric division, was launched by him when he was in heading Cipla. And he also launched many divisions in Alembic as well as MSN. He is handling therapies like the orthopedic cardiology and also like bringing MSN into the new era of Indian pharma industry. So welcome DP Gupta sir to the Live Pharma Coalition. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you ICS for your kind words. And first of all, I would like to congratulate entire LPC team, you, Yashwant, Arpan, Raman, for creating such a wonderful global platform. And I am very humbled to be here today. And I believe that this must be helping to the millions of the pharma sales and marketing professionals by the different experts who are coming and sharing their experience and learning. So wonderful job done by the you and your team, and we wish you all the best to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So can you just brief about your topic today, what I talked about?
So just a second. Let me share the. So IPS, today's my topic is the leadership challenges in the changing dynamics across the pharma industry, because there is a lot of innovations and the things are changing. Indian pharma industry has become the pharmacy of the world. Our government is taking the lot of newer initiatives that I would like to address in my presentation also. And there is a lot of support. Simultaneously, digitalization is happening. Customer behavior is changing nowadays in clinic. And our all leaders are struggling for the talent attrition, talent retention. So there are the multiple complexities there in today's sales and marketing operation. So I would like to just address some of the issues and what I am having some little experience that I would like to share how to address this. And that is the whole brief of my topic today.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. I think it's a great opportunity for all of us to learn again on the challenges. There were many discussions, but I definitely hope that you are going to bring a new in the leadership change, and there are a lot of government interventions and government interest.
Yeah.
What I could say in the pharma will definitely lot of information on the table. Yeah, over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So once again, thank you, ICS. As our topic is the leadership challenges in the changing dynamics across the pharma industry. We all should have the proud. We are a part of the India pharma industry. Recently, Mr. Narendra Modi, Honorable Prime Minister of India, has made a comment. India's pharma industry is an asset, not just for India, but for the entire world. It has played a leading role in reducing the cost of medicines, especially for the developing countries. The key drivers and the limiters for the global pharma industries are there. As we know, the population increases, agings are increasing. Now we have the better access to the medicines in the emerging market. As a result of that, an increasing GDP per capita, a strong development of the generic market, and there is a strong demand from the patient for the more effective and the better tolerated newer drugs. So these are the 4 or 5 factors. These factors are driving the global pharma industry. But simultaneously, we have the many limiters who are also making a hurdle for the global pharma industry. One is that the decreasing R&D productivity of the pharma companies, because most of the pharma companies or R&D based companies are having the very dry pipeline. Increasing barriers to the market access and the strong pressure on the price from the payers. Now, the restrictions from the US FDA, European societies, as well as the government and the patient groups are also making a lot of pressure to reduce the prices, to maintain the qualities, and access to the different market of the world. Simultaneously, there is increasing competition of the non-reimbursed drugs by the medical devices and the food supplements. And we are also seeing this. There is an intensification of the competition from the generic drugs across the globe, as well in the biosimilar drugs. As per the some reports, the CAGR of the global pharma market is expected to be 4.4% by 2025. But by the 2025, the India pharma market is expected to step up from the 11th to 9th place at the global level. As per the recent survey, India is currently at the number 11 in the global market, but we will move to the position 9 by 2025 with a growth of the more than 8%. And that is India is having the fastest growth in the global market in terms of the value. The factors which are driving the India market, and enter India pharma market is divided into 4 parts. One is the API, second is the formulations, third is the biosimilars, and fourth is the contract research and manufacturing services. In API, if we see, India became the third largest global generic API in the 2016. Hyderabad is hub for the active API formulation in India, and most of the companies are doing extremely well in India in terms of the API. The Indian pharmaceutical market accounts for the second largest number of the ANDA as well as the DMF filing in the US. My own organization, MSN Labs, is having the highest DMF filing in USA, and it is the more than 600 DMF filing already has been done by the MSN. And similarly, other pharma companies are also doing extremely well. In terms of, for the formulation, India is the largest exporter of the formulation in terms of the volume, with the 14% market share and 12th in terms of the export value. Our domestic market size is currently valued at the 11.2 billion US dollar, with the expected double-digit growth over the next 5 years. For the contract manufacturing, India is having the fragmented market with more than 1,000 players, and this estimated is to reach a contract manufacturing up to $18 billion by the 2018. But because this is the old data, but I am expecting that it is around now 20 billion US dollar. For the biosimilars, our government of India is very, very aggressive. They plan to allocate $70 million US dollar for the local players to develop the biosimilars, and we are expecting by 2030 India will have the 40 billion US dollar market for the biosimilars. So if you see overall, India pharmaceutical market on all the segments of the pharma industry, whether it is the API, whether it formulations, whether it is a contract manufacturing or biosimilars, Indian players are very, very aggressive. Why Indian players are aggressive? Why Indian pharma market is doing well? Because India is having the certain major advantage of the cost efficiency. We have the advantage of the diversified portfolio. We have the economic drivers, and along with that, we have the lot of support from the government of India. Our low cost of the production and R&D is boosting the efficiency of the Indian pharma companies. India's cost of production is much, much lower than the US. Due to lower cost of the treatment, India is emerging as a leading destination for the medical tourism, and it is a preferred location for the medical tourism. India's ability to manufacture the high quality, low price medicines presents the huge business opportunity for the domestic industry. If we see our portfolio, we are having the production of the more than 10% of the global pharmaceutical productions, more than 60,000 generic brand across the 60 therapeutic groups, and our manufacturers are having more than 500 different APIs. We have the more than half of the DMF filing in USA is being done by the Indian companies. And simultaneously, with the policies of the government of India, India is moving for the better economic prosperity to improve the drug affordability. Health insurance is penetrating in the rural part of the India, and simultaneously all the OTC drugs and pharmacies are penetrating in rural India, and e-pharmacies are also emerging in India. To support the Indian pharma industry, government has unveiled the Pharma Vision 2020 under the leadership of the Honorable Prime Minister, and they have reduced the approval times for the newer facilities to boost the investment. That we have seen in the Corona scenario, how the government of India has helped the Indian companies to development and of the vaccines. Now in pharma industry, they have allowed 100% FDI to under the automatic route. So recently in the last week, I have seen some of the newspaper headlines. You must have also seen that the बदलने लगी pharma sector की सूरत because of the PLI scheme of the India. Lot of API has been produced in India, and now we are reducing our dependency on the import of the APIs from the China. But simultaneously, low-cost generics products are also hitting the big pharma companies' profits, and there is a top line as well as in the bottom line. Today, India is having more than 5,300 Jan Aushadhi Center that is being run by the government of India. So Indian pharma industry, if we see, there is a multiple challenges are there. Some challenges are controllable, some challenges are uncontrollable for us. Still, we don't have the defined regulation for the OTC, and taxes and tariffs are very high. GST on the pharma products, if we know this, it is more than 18% in some of the products. Lack of the patent enforcement and regulatory still has to be relooked, and India is still having the unpredictable environment for the clinical research. For the domestic sales and marketing, we are facing the tough competition with the generic medicines, and simultaneously government is also giving a big push for the same. Customer behavior are changing, in-clinic times are reducing, productivity of the territories, productivity per customer is getting reduced, and industry is also going through consolidation. Many merger and acquisitions took place in the recent time. Industry is also moving from the conventional approach to digital era, and simultaneously talent retention and talent acquisition is also becoming a challenge for us. So these are the few thoughts I was having with, as a sales and marketing guy. We have the issues that is on the right side of the screen, and the issues which are on the left side of the screen are not in our control, but these issues Indian pharma industry is facing. So how to handle the generic medicines? We can't have the alternative of the generic medicines. This market is going to expand, and we know the almost all the companies have come in the Indian market as a generic product. So here the role of marketer has to be changed. We have to focus on the branding. We have to focus on the creation of the loyal customers. We have to focus on the identification of the customer needs, and we have to focus on the specialty products rather than the me-too products, and we have to make the individual customer marketing plan, retention plan, and engagement plan. I will discuss this in my coming slides. So today, what is happening? We have the conventional approach of the customer satisfaction. This approach, I feel, that has to be changed in the customer preference. We have to ensure the customer should become the loyal to our brand. Customer should be the loyal to our company. We have to identify the certain expectations, assessment of the superiority level to induce the customer preference, and how we can offer the unique and preferential solution. For this, the measurement of the preference level with the BPM index, brand preference mix index, has to be evaluated, and brand, the corporate reputation of the brand, quality. As a company, as a marketer, we have to convey an appealing corporate identity to our customers, maintain the corporate reputation that induce the preference. The product should be highlighted in a way that generate the preference and the create a perception of the uniqueness. Simultaneously, in terms of the services, our services should be the highly valued that should generate the interest, utility, practicality, and quality of execution also matter a lot. We have to select and design the services that will lead to the corporate, and it has to move toward the brand preference by the customer. Nowadays, we are having a static segmentation of the customer profiling. We do generally the segmentation on the market potential as well as the product potential. I feel this has to be shifted to the dynamic segmentation, where we have to see this general environment, personality of the physicians, and conditions of the his practices. Then will help in loyalty of the customer with the brand, and customers will move to the brand preference. Recent survey has been done with some agencies, where along with the conventional way of the marketing, we have to be use the digital channels in the different way. This is a valuable complement to the conventional channel to be carried out on the well-defined targets. The agency have evaluated all the channels in terms of their reach and their impact on the sales, as well as the cost of the activity. Face-to-face detailing is having the medium impact and high impact, but the medium cost. Face-to-face e-detailing with the digital tablet is having the high cost and high impact, and it is having the better reach also. And simultaneously, every options, whether it is the handovers, press ads, TV, phone, BAPs, a meeting, virtual live, e-detailing, everything has to be evaluated in the newer scenario. We can't continue with the conventional channel in the today's market scenario. So this is the way, if we focus on the customer preference, if we focus more is on the corporate, if we focus on the newer way of the brand promotion, we may have the brand sales, brand preference, brand loyalty, as well as the customer loyalty. Simultaneously, nowadays, there is a lot of change in the customer behavior and environment. Doctors or customer don't want to meet the medical reps. They are overburdened with the number of the reps. They have the very, very short personal interaction. Now our time in the clinic is the 30 seconds to 1 minute. We have the red ocean competition in most of the brands. One molecule and more than 100 brands are there. Recently, sitagliptin has been launched in the market, and all of you are aware more than 85 brands are available today within a week's time. Number of the corporate hospitals are increasing in the country. So the prescription and the retailers are become dominant in these corporate hospitals. E-pharmacies are emerging, and availability at the e-pharmacies are also in the big concern and big challenge for the pharma industry, because they are hitting the bottom line. They are asking the heavy discounts from the pharma industry. If we see how the investment is happening in the health technology and e-pharmacy companies from the 2008 onwards, all the Practo, Doc Prime, Paul Health, Pharmacy, BunMD, MedLife, there's a huge investment is happening by the investors, and this is a real truth of the life that we have to be the healthcare industry is moving towards the technology. And simultaneously, the virtual healthcare is also giving the lot of potential to support the burdened healthcare industry, because we can have the better reach, we have the more efficient output, follow-up of the chronic cases and for the elderly patients is very easy. Healthcare cost is also will get reduced by the reducing the transportation and other things. In-clinic stay can be avoided in some of the mild symptoms. Less clinician burnout. Clinician can have the discussion patient the digitally, lower mortality rate, and the more clinical contribution. So digital healthcare, virtual healthcare is the future of the healthcare industry. It should be part of our brand plans, the market plan, and other thing. So how to buy the more time in the clinic and arrest the attrition? I feel that now time has come. We should go the hybrid approach with the physical and digital presence in the clinic. In clinic performance of the team is matters a lot. In today's sales pressure, we don't take care of it. Most of the companies, and the clinic effectiveness of the people is a big question mark. Most of the time, doctor don't want to have a discussion with the rep because of the poor knowledge of the product. We should have the short and the crisp communication. We should encourage more the focused group as well as the small group meeting, because doctor to doctor interaction helps in the concept building. And as a marketer, we can also focus on the post marketing trials as well as the drug reviews and etc. So we can engage the customer in that very different way. For the attrition and the talent retention, continuous training of the team on the different aspect of the pharma profession has to be planned. Example setting by the leaders. Every time we talk about the sales, it doesn't work on this until unless we don't show how to generate the prescription, how to have the expansion of the prescriber base, and we have to focus on the right processes in the system. If we are looking for the short-term sales, we are looking long-term sales, we are having the vision for the brand, how big we want to make the brand, how many customers we require, how many prescriptions we require. Until unless we don't have the long-term plan, in today's generation will not join us and they will not continue with us. And in the last, the performance matters. Until unless the team is earning the incentives, its team is getting rewarded for their effort, they will not able to continue with us. So today, pharma industry, in the domestic pharma industry, what I'm talking, we have the challenges with the generic medicines. They are taking a lot of shares from our prescription products. Customer behavior is becoming a challenge. We need the loyal customers rather than the occasional prescribers. We need the brand loyal customers. We need the brand preference over the satisfaction. We have to have the digital way of the marketing, digital way of the sales in our marketing plans, brand plans. Then we can address today's challenge. So thank you very much for your patience hearing. If you have any questions, I would love to answer those questions.
Thank you very much, sir. So now we can minimize the slide and let me permit you to just summarize what you have presented. So there were a lot of information as well as learnings from the session. Especially you started with the overall pharma industry and how India is becoming the world hub in pharma. And basically there are, you have divided into 4 areas of pharma: API, formulations, contract manufacturing, and biosimilars. So fortunately, Indian pharma is upgrading in all these areas, and because there was a good support from the government also. So because we have been seeing formulations from our childhood, but biosimilars is the one new addition, and which is a great opportunity for Indian pharma to take up this and grow. And also contract manufacturing, there are more than 1,000 players are there, and that is also promising, and they are doing well right now. And also you talked about the advantages of India being a very cost effective and support from the government. And also I could really, I was fascinated to know that MSN having a lot of investment in R&D. So which is very good news, because we have seen most of the times we were concentrating more on the formulations, especially the Indian industry, and not looking at the long-term benefit of investing in R&D and looking for a long-term perspective. So I think many companies have now started, like Zydus, Cipla. So this is a very good and it's a definitely a great news for the Indian pharma industry. Like the many Hyderabad companies have also started, and it's being a hub. Hyderabad is known for its formulations, but now they are also investing in R&D, which is a great news. And I hope the similar thing is happening in Ahmedabad as well as in Mumbai. So this is a great.
Just for your information, ICS,
Yes.
MSN is having the Asia's largest R&D centers, where over 1,500 scientists are working.
Oh,
And MSN
cool.
is having the highest number of the DMF filing in USA, in Indian pharma industry, as well as we have given the 18 generics first time in the world, not in India. So
Great.
our MSN is totally R&D based this organization.
Lovely, lovely. I think many companies are now, I think, understood the importance of R&D and the long-term benefit of staying in industry. So that's a great news, sir. And also you have talked about the other challenges. So like the generics. Actually, the generic market has hit hard in the pharma industry. If you can see the Jana Aushadhi, the way they have grown, and which is good for the people. In fact, that's a
Yes.
good,
Yes.
yeah. Because when the challenge comes, they will have to find out newer ways to grow. But overall, the output is the people are getting benefited because of the generic.
Yes.
And
yes.
now people know that it's a generic medicine and I will get a more discount. Previously, that was not, that awareness was not there. I think that's a good thing. And
so
there
in the
are,
broader way, it is not a challenge. It has
Yes.
reduced the cost of management is significantly. But as a marketeer, as a salesperson, when it is your top
Yes.
line and bottom line, then it has become some challenge.
Yes, it's a challenge. Yes, yes. And you, I really liked the way you have explained about the changing customer behavior. Because you've been into market and you understand how COVID has hit the entire industry, and the customer behavior has changed completely because of the lockdowns, because of the the norms, new norms, and the digitalization. So these things have now come into the picture, and definitely the pharma has to adopt that physical thing. You have to have physical contact, but also be present digitally. So that is very, very important. And you also talked about the focus on, yes, should shift from customer satisfaction to the customer loyalty, or you have to
Preference.
identify what exactly their needs rather than and solving their problems rather than just going there and then coming with our own recording. So that's a good thing, and I hope that pharma is going to focus more on the crisp communication rather than long detailing stories, because
Yes.
you also told about the in-clinic time, which has come down from 1 minute to the 30 seconds. So in 30 seconds, how effective you are in communicating, and you're talking about your brand, especially you took the example of sitagliptin, a very, very recent launch with more than 85 brands in the market, and how you are going to stand out in that crowd. So that communication plays very, very vital role, and Arpan is going to definitely add something on that. And also, like sir, you talked about the many things on the changing customer engagement. How you can actually engage them through more engaging, either maybe the clinical trials, more scientific way, and also digitally you can help him, because now every doctor needs some kind of digitalization. So how the organization is helping him in being digitally equipped. So these kind of things will definitely bring a lot of value rather than so this is for the marketing team that you told about. And one more challenge what I could see, sir, like the corporate hospitals. So previously only the injectable companies used to look into the hospital business as their business. Correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Right.
Because not many companies used to have the key account management team, but now that becomes a major chunk of your business. And if you don't have a key account management team or an infrastructure, you will be losing a lot of business and a lot of opportunity, in fact, because there is a rate challenges, different stakeholders whom you need to engage in a straight clinic, you will be, you convince a doctor and you get a business. But here, there are multiple things that you have to look into. So these things will definitely a challenge, but an opportunity for the pharma industry.
I see as the thing I would like to make it, the way we are having the red ocean competition in the Indian pharma, similar hospital industry is having the same competition. Their incentive intensification of competition is much higher than us. So what happened, the retail pharmacy has become a profit center for them.
Correct.
And when it has become a profit center for them, then they have to handle it in a very different way.
Very true. The maximum revenue generation is from the pharmacy only.
Yes.
So they squeeze the companies like anything, and you should know how to handle that thing and enter into that corporate hospital. And sir, you also talked about the e-pharmacies.
Yes.
So like 1mg, Practo, and Pharmeasy. So this also becomes a challenge in especially the retail when you wanted to, previously you have a attached counter, you go there and you told them ki bhai ye prescription aayega, aap available kar do apna product. But now the customer is going to maybe first prescription he will get an honor from the clinic, but after that he will get it from the Pharmeasy or any other online platform like 1mg. So tracking your prescription becomes very, very difficult now, sir. So what is your take on this?
Yeah, for the big companies and the big brands, e-pharmacies is a big opportunity and it is a big boon for them.
Yeah.
But for the small and medium-sized companies and the companies which are not operating entire India or in the every part of the countries, it has become a challenge because their prescription will get substituted with the other brands. And simultaneously, the way the hospital is squeezing the pharma companies, similarly in future, or they have started the e-pharmacy will also squeeze the bottom line and of the pharma industry. So it is a challenge as well as it is an opportunity also, because you will have the now better reach, better spread. Your dependency is less on the retailers, and everywhere now the world is moving on the mobile handset. So it is an opportunity also, but definitely in terms of the tracking of the prescription, this has become the challenge. So now we have to have the more dependency on the WOX as well as the IQVIA.
Yeah, that is true. That is very much true. And I have seen, sir, the organizations, an example is JB Chemicals. So they already started with modern trade, called modern trade. They have a separate wing which will take care of the entire e-pharmacies. So they will negotiate and they will supply through these HBS, hospital business supplies channel. Right. So these kind of opportunities definitely will help them to to sustain their growth. Otherwise, it will be difficult because you don't know, and you can track it because what the organizations are now doing, even supply is also supplying to them directly from the depots or from their HBS, hospital business supply partners like Rex and Healthcare. So what they do is they will have a contract with, there will be a contract between the company and the 1mg and the supply through from us. So these kind of things have already started, and this is an opportunity for every organization to actually channelize through these e-pharmacies, because that the negotiation will happen from the top then there will be a fixed price from wherever you supply.
No, you can't ignore.
Yeah, you can't ignore. Yeah, that's very true. It's a tsunami.
Yes.
So better you learn swimming so that you can survive.
Yes.
And also, sir, like there was one point you talked about how to buy in clinic time, and you focus more on the training. So I really respect your idea of giving more training to the sales team rather than just going and meeting the doctors. There should be trained on communication, trained on handling digital, and trained on how to buy, how to talk something sense in the clinic.
Right.
So one is on training, and you also talked about the retention, because I still remember, sir, we used to have all India reviews. We called 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, and nothing actually come out of that outcome. Better you call 5 people, you review them and give them some
Right.
direction. So the small meetings and small reviews will definitely help, and during the same time you can also train them so that they will be equipped to face the challenges rather than escaping from that. And also you talked about the role of a leader, how to set an example to the team, being a leader. And I know, sir, like I know from last 20 years since my Cipla days, how you used to actually be into the field and set the examples. And that's very, very important as a leader, because when you want to set an example, you can't sit in a classroom and give the instructions, nobody follows. So
Right.
yeah, so that's one thing which is very, very important for any leader to, if they want the team to be effective, the leader has to be effective, and he has to be genuine in bringing the quality of the team. So thank you very much, sir. I hope I have actually
Yeah, you
give
have covered entire presentation. Yes, sir.
gist of the presentation. Arpan, do we have any questions from Facebook?
Yes, definitely. First of all, let me acknowledge the appreciations that have been pouring in on Facebook. It's Mr. Rupak Rathore from Zydus HR team who has appreciated Mr. Gupta's deliberation. There is Mr. Shiv Shankar Maurya, Mr. Sandeep Bidwai, and Mr. Nasiruddin Chishti. And they are all very much happy with the way Mr. Gupta has been able to deliver the presentation, and they are full of appreciation. Well, one question that's come up was that, as Dharam sir said, that the CFT, that is the customer facing time, has gone down from 1 minute to around 30 seconds. And that's because the market has also changed from customer satisfaction to customer delight. So what are the basic things that a medical representative and the line managers should look for to make the best use of the 30-second CFT that is available to them now, sir?
Okay. The point is that most of the doctors knows the molecule, because when the 50 companies and 60 companies tell the same brand or same molecule to the doctor, they know it, and doctors always knows more than what the companies are communicating to them. So it is better to them what is the different indications and positioning we are talking about to the doctor. Is if we have the some niche indications, if we want to position our product in the certain comorbid conditions, or just for example, I'm just talking about the simple ciprofloxacin drug. Just where to write the amoxicillin, where to write the ciprofloxacin, right? So up to waist you write the amoxicillin, and below the waist you write the ciprofloxacin. Means where the tough indications and other thing is there. So the things that can make remember to the customer is focused on this. That is very, very important. One or two things, why our brand name is this, why this indication is this, what is the latest data is this, and so doctor remember that this person is making a sense. Otherwise, most of the time we talk on the price and other thing, and that doctor don't take it seriously, your brand, with the prices and other thing. That is the number one. Second thing, the consistency in the service. The moment the doctor's prescription goes up and down, the customer services has been goes and down by the industry, and doctor take it very, very negatively. Is this so? That's why the customer doesn't become the loyal to the industry. If the company is consistent in the services to the same customer over a period of time, customer recognize the company behavior, customer recognize the manager's behavior, and then they become loyalty over a period of time.
Right, sir. In fact, for any salesperson, whichever position he or she may be, communication is something which sets him or her apart from the rest. So now with the timings that the customer facing time reducing, so how important do you think is the communication skill training for people in the pharma industry so that they can make the best use of the little time that has been allotted to them by their customer?
Selling is only communication, sir. If you can communicate, then you can sell. If you can't communicate, then you can't sell.
Exactly. So I think
So
with
it has to
the
be on the top right.
top priority, absolutely, sir, because with the less and less CFT, the customer facing time that has been given by the doctors. So I think communication becomes the most pivotal point through which one person can be better than the rest. So that's very true. And the
And not
next
only the
question,
scientific communication, how you engage the customer in the non-scientific communication also. So
Yes.
then doctor take the start interest in you.
Exactly.
First, the doctor should have or customer should have the interest in you, then he will come on the product.
Yes, absolutely. That is why it is not only customer satisfaction, but customer delight. So first of all, the interest arousal has to be given. The ice breaking
Yes.
has to be done. Otherwise, the involvement of the customer will not be there in whatever product I have brought. Because in India, it is full of a market full of Me Too product. So what extra I am giving, not in terms of my product, but in terms of my communication, that is definitely going to arouse the doctor. That is going to definitely interest the doctor. And the interest is going to impress. If the doctor gets interested, then only there is a chance of the doctor getting impressed. So these two things become very important. Now, this brings me to the third question, sir, that pharma industry, by and large, has been very conservative as far as embracing technology is concerned. Now, with COVID, I think it had to hasten up to embrace technology. Now, this digital medium has come up as the latest child of the blocks for the pharma industry. Now with the COVID basically going down, do you think the digital part, the digital platform is going to stay, or is it also going to die down with the physical part once again getting the better share?
It will be the hybrid. Digital, again, I would like to say you can't ignore the digital because it is already doctors are getting the references, studies, all are on the Googles, right? Doctor is not waiting for the pharma industry to share the printed references and other thing with them. So doctors are already moving towards the digital. They are getting all the references, informations from them, all the conferences, international conferences, everything they are attending digitally. In India also, but it is not a substitute of the physical. The physical will be over. It will be a balance approach between the physical and digital. Somewhere you have to go the digital, somewhere you have to go the physical. Personal relationship, personal interaction will matter a lot, or it is very, very important because it is a one-to-one selling we are having. So it should be a right balance, but slowly over a period of time, the time will come when the medical rep will also have the call on the digital system with the doctor.
Absolutely, sir. And there have been some more appreciations which are pouring in from Facebook, like there's Mr. Ravindra Jain, and he has said that this is all in demand and supply. The situation is demand and supply, and currently supply is more and the demand is more. So hospitals are squeezing the pharma industry. So this is what he had to say. There is Mr. Devabrata Mazumdar who has said that this is indeed a very good discussion. And our own Mr. Hitesh Upreti, he said, great going, Life Pharma Coalition. So definitely lots of appreciation is coming over. And thank you so much, sir, for making the discussion so very engaging for our audience. And indeed, they have been thoroughly overwhelmed by the learning and experience that you have shared today on Life Pharma Coalition. So I will now go over to ICS, sir, because I think he has got some questions up his sleeve from YouTube. Over to you, ICS, sir.
Yes. So there is again a lot of appreciation and questions from YouTube. So let me first address the appreciation from Prashant Menon, sir, who is our mentor in LPC. And he said that
he's my mentor also.
good to see DP. And he has a question also. So apart from that, we have Ambati Yakaya and Praveen Kumar Tavva. So they have actually appreciated and also had asked some questions, sir. So first question is from Prashant Menon, sir. So he asked about, in the wake of recent backlash that some medical facilities have displayed for the multiple launches of sitagliptin generics.
Right.
Once the patent has gone off, so almost 80, you already addressed that 85 companies have launched sitagliptin. So what do you feel we should do differently to stand in this market?
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for asking this question. But out of the 85 brand, sir, the 80% sale is with only the 13 brands. Means the 20% brands which are good in the branding, which are good in the positioning of the molecule and other thing, and the innovators are having the 80% sale. And same thing we have seen when the Bida has been launched in country, when the DEPA has launched in the country. So as a thumb rule, the focus on the positioning, science, as well as the company which is having the strong loyal prescribers, they will win the game, sir. So the companies which are looking for the short-term sales and companies which are looking for the, just to have the top line gains, they have to struggle in the market. So continuous focus on the science, continuous focus on the positioning, and this is a wonderful molecule came in India, and definitely it will take over all the gliptins. So the top 10 companies are having the 80% market share, and they will their market share will be going to
basically they have already set the ground.
Yes,
so they have a customers, loyal customers, and they have a base. So on that, because you cannot actually create a customer base immediately with some product, but if you already have a base, definitely that will help. But a differentiation in the marketing and kind of the positioning will definitely also help. That's what you are telling, right, sir?
Yes.
That's what. Okay. Thank you very much. I hope that has been addressed by you. And another question, sir, from Praveen Kumar Tawwa. So if generic medicine availability increases, what about the branded products, and what is the way forward that you are going to give any suggestions to the industry?
Yeah, so generic as a pharma salesperson, it is a challenge for us, as we have discussed earlier also. So the role of the marketing has become very, very critical. So again, the point is that how to create the customer preference for your brand by the differentials in the corporate image, by differential in the brand communication, and by differentials in the customer services. Because still the patients who can afford, they want to associate with the brands, and they are not looking for the generic product, or then patient who have the affordability issues where the patients are taking the generic. So still with the right branding, right positioning, and right marketing strategies, we can address the generics.
Very, very much true, sir. Especially in the chronic therapy, definitely the branded will definitely have still the strength, because a patient who is using, for example, Sita MSN, right? Your sitagliptin is MSN Sita.
Yeah.
So if he's been using, then he will not shift it to any other brand. So similarly, so that is a patient has that feeling ये drug मुझे कम करेगा.
Yes.
So especially in the chronic, sir, but acute में तो ठीक है, definitely generics will definitely will have a say on that, like azithromycin and these brands, because that is more substituted by the chemist. You will not go and ask most of the times azithrol or a kind of Cipro, but you will go and ask for a मतलब मेरा दवा खराब है, medicine दे दो. So mostly he will replace it with any generic medicine. But for a chronic patient, he will go with either strip or prescription. So still your prescription power will definitely will continue, especially in chronic therapy. So one more appreciation, sir, come from Praveen Kumar. So he says that thanks for sharing the good insights, sir. And Ambati Yakea says exactly. So, thank you very much. So I think any more from Facebook? Sorry, these are from YouTube. Any more from Facebook, Arpan now?
No, so far I have covered all the questions that
Over
have
to you, Arpan.
poured in on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So from DP sir, that is Mr. Dharam Gupta, we would like to have his take home from his first session at LPC. How did you feel, sir?
No, I am very humbled and very happy you have given me the opportunity to on this global platform, and let me see how we can contribute more in future, and how we can further connect and then strengthen, because we want to give it back to the our new generation also, what we have learned, what we have our learning, so
Yes.
we want to pass on to the newcomers in this country. So I'm very happy and very congratulations to once again congratulations to all of you for the sincere efforts, and it is a fantastic job.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It's a privilege
Thank
for
you
all
so
of us.
much, DP sir. And of course, I'll come to ICS sir for his take home from today's session.
Yeah, thanks, Arpan. There were many take homes, especially from a leader whom I, admired from my from my representative days. I have seen him growing, and he's a very a great guide also. Whenever we used to approach him, he's a kind of man to be available for any kind of suggestion. So from him, we have got a lot of learnings, especially on the leadership, on the working, and especially on the sales team, because he has been into sales for more than 26 years. Yeah, he put those experience into one capsule and given to us. So that's, if we are going to implement at least 5% of that on the and the industry also need to be take that suggestions from the leaders like him on training and development for the team, on the retention, because if you retain a non-performer, it becomes a burden. Rather, you make him a performer. Even if he goes anywhere, still he'll always be loyal to you and a great access to the industry. So training, and he spoke on leadership, and he also spoke on the challenges and opportunities in the pharma industry, which have definitely a great take home for all of us. So thank you very much. Thank you, DP sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. ICS sir. In fact, that was the icing on the cake, because you have been seeing DP sir right from the time you started off as a medical rep. So I think the experience that you shared is awesome, because there are a lot of nostalgia that is associated with Mr. DP Gupta. So for that reason, I think this session was indeed very memorable for you, and it's our privilege that you were able to find out some time for this session. Now, towards the end of this session, it's time for me to thank Imagica Health for being so supportive in our learning endeavor. Thank you so much to our audience who have always been coming up with questions and thoughts, and of course the appreciations for our LPC sessions. And it has been your support by which we have been able to cover so many steps. And today we are on the 120th step. Once again, a small reminder to all of you that LPC 125 conclave is going to be at Ahmedabad. That is on 11th of September, which is a Sunday. So don't hold yourself back. Please take care of the early bird, because it has been extended till 15th of August, 2,000 rupees registration. And indeed, this is a great offer. So once again, a reminder to our audience that we are not yet over with COVID. So please maintain the COVID appropriate behavior of SMS, that is sanitization, mask and social distancing, along with the compulsory vaccination. And very soon we are going to have a planet free of COVID. So let us keep our planet clean and green, because this is the best gift that we can give to our next generation. And at the end, a small story for today, and it goes like this. There was a wise man who had a disciple, and this disciple was very favorite of this wise man, because he used to accompany wherever this wise man used to go. So once both of them had gone on a pilgrimage, and while returning back, it was getting dark and they were in front of a forest. So the wise man told his disciple that, see, it would be very dangerous for us to cross the forest in this darkness. So let us find a shelter where we can spend the night. So the disciple looked here and there and noticed a small hut that was there towards the edge of the forest. He told his master that, sir, let us spend our night in this hut and let us see if the person there can give us some shelter. So they knocked the door on the hut, and a poor man and his family welcomed this wise man and his disciple. They had a good dinner at night in that hut. And in fact, when the wise man looked around, he could not find anything that could speak that they were having a good living. They had a thin cow which was tied outside, and that was the only thing that they had. So the wise man decided to ask this poor man that, how do you maintain your family? So the poor man said, well, the cow is our only source of income. Whatever milk it gives, we drink, and the extra we make cheese and we distribute it to the shops who give us some money. So this is the only way we can maintain our family. Next morning, they both decided to leave and thanked the poor man for his hospitality. When this wise man and the disciple reached back to their ashram, the wise man told his disciple, tonight you have to go back to this poor man's house. You have to bring the cow to the cliff and throw him down. The disciple was astonished with what his guru has told him. He said, sir, this is the only way they sustain themselves, with this cow, and you are telling me to throw this cow off the cliff. I can't do this. Now the guru said, you are my disciple and you are supposed to listen to what I say. So the disciple could not do anything and had to oblige. So that night he went there, brought the cow and threw him off the cliff. There was a repentance that was hitting him hard for the next few months. And almost after a year's time, without telling his guru, he went to see how the poor people, the poor man and his family were doing. So he went to that location and he was searching for the hut. But to his astonishment, the hut was nowhere. In place of the hut, there stood a beautiful house surrounded with trees, and in front of the house, there stood a beautiful car. Now this disciple was once again surprised. He asked a person nearby that, hey man, can you tell me that there was a hut here 1 year back and today I don't find it? Can you tell me where this family has gone? This passerby said, sir, the house in front of which you are standing right now is the house where the hut was there. And the people who were there in the hut are now staying in this house. This became more surprising to the disciple. And he thought of entering into the house and asking them. And in fact, he went into the house and there he could recognize that thin, old, poor man. He had become very healthy and he looked really nice. The disciple introduced himself to this poor man and said, do you remember that me and my Gurudev had come here 1 year back and we had dinner at your place and enjoyed your hospitality? He said, yes, thank you so much for once again coming. Now the disciple asked him, what is the secret of your success? Now this poor man said, one night my cow went away somewhere and fell down off the cliff, and we were totally robbed of the only source of income that we had. And then what to do? We had to just do whatever we could. And that is the time we discovered the skill set that we had. We had to develop new skill in order to sustain ourselves. And this was the challenge that basically made us develop new skills and a new type of talent that we had, and that is what brought us to here. So dear friends, is there a cow in your life? If so, get rid of this as soon as possible, and tomorrow itself, please try to throw this cow from the cliff. In fact, this cow is the comfort zone that we are probably stuck to, and this is the comfort zone where it is said that nothing grows. And the moment we come out of the comfort zone, there will definitely be a zone of doubt. But beyond the zone of doubt is a zone where we become result oriented, we become career oriented, and we become successful. So if you are having a cow in your life, it's the right time you threw the cow off the cliff and decided to build on your career and create success stories. So this was the story that I wanted to share with all of you, because somewhere or the other, we are always stuck with a cow in our life. So let's get rid of it. So thank you so much once again for being a part of LPC. So thank you, DP sir, for the wonderful learnings
Yeah.
that you have shared. Thank you so much, ICS sir, for adding so much value to what DP sir said. Thank you so much, audience, for sharing your thoughts and your questions on LPC. So this is Arpan Kumar Paul telling goodbye to all of you with a promise of reconnecting with all of you next Sunday at the same time with a new set of thoughts, with a new leader, and of course, a new set of learnings. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Goodbye and
So
namaste.
thank you very much.
Bye.
Namaskar.
Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, IPS. Thank you, Arpan.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. So, with your permission, can I end the meeting?
Yes, yes, you can end.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good Sunday, sir.
Thank you.
So, from here, I'm ending this meeting.